Hey y'all, Pete, Late Century Garage. It's been a month. It's been a minute. I haven't done a lot of content in quite some time. It's cold out again here in New Jersey, so we are back to car in the garage. Really, just been kind of driving this thing all winter, or I'm sorry, all summer. It's been great. Haven't had any issues. I've taken this to Camaro Nationals in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. I've done some other long drives. Try to take it out once a week. Drive to work every once in a while, do some car shows and stuff. Um, it's been awesome. So I haven't had to fix anything, so I haven't done any videos. It's been really busy. Couple young kids, so life's been kind of busy. I'm excited to get back into it though. So next video, it says in the title, I'm going to install some subframe connectors. So I have UMI control arms in the back. I got Founders Performance panhard bar adjustable in the back. It does have a 4th gen rear, so it's kind of set off to one side. So we get the adjustable panhard bar, center that thing right back up with new springs in that. That was last year. That was before I did my first video for YouTube. So this year I'm gonna do subframe connectors. They're Jegs. They're bolting. There's some videos out there on them. I'm just gonna add another one. From my experience on it. But yeah, I have access to a welder. Not at home. I have one at work. But just like a lot of you guys out there, you have never welded before. You don't have access to a welder, and you just want to get the job done on a weekend or in a night, whatever. I'm going to film this over a few nights. I'm starting to stay up late again, start working on the car now that it's in the garage. I got a couple other things I'm going to do. I'm going to do a few videos, hopefully this year. I got some work to do on my pickup too. I'm about to hit 100,000 on my pickup, so hopefully get some more content for everyone. Thanks to all the people that started following. I mean, I didn't expect to have any, and I got a few, so that's pretty cool. So we'll continue to work at it. So first things first, we got to get this thing up in the air. All right, so we've got the Camaro up in the air. I've taken the rear wheels off. I am going to put some tires on this thing. They're down there. They're at the wear bars, so we got to throw a couple rear tires at it. The front tires are like fresh. I did jack this up, and I supported, so the weight is laying on the suspension or on the vehicle. You do not want to put in subframe connectors with the wheels dangling. So your unsprung weight hanging or the suspension hanging. You want to keep it as if the vehicle is on, has all the weight down on the suspension, as if you were driving down the road. That's the right way to do this. So I have jack stands underneath the rear axle. I have the jack supporting it for now. I have another jack I'm going to use to jack up the subframe connectors that I put them on. And then I have the front end is on ramps. I also have some jack stands underneath because I don't trust these Harbor Freight ramps 100%, but they're good enough to roll up on there and then even it out. So now I got plenty of room that a little guy can get in there and do some work. Now here's one of the subframe connectors. I kind of laid it out on the ground. So if you look at it, you'll see there's a couple bolt holes. I believe this bolt hole here is going to go to the front with a control arm in the rear. And then there's some bolt holes in the front. These guys, these are actually going to get drilled into the floor. So I will have to remove the carpet, or at least pull the carpet up so I can drill some holes and put some bolts in it. But yeah, these cars, like, I'll show you a reason why I'm doing this too. I'll go around to the other side and show you. But these cars could really get some more stiffness into the frame. It's a wobbly at times, but let me take you over next to the other side and show you what's up. So here's a symptom of this. If you look, see the crack here. Now, there was work done to this. So when I bought this car, somebody had painted it. There was still rust all over this car, man. So I had to put floors in it. This inside of this top of the hard top was all rotted. So I found a donor vehicle, had it cut out, welded that all in. I didn't get a good paint match in the body shop that painted the car originally that the previous owner had done was of no help. So I'm going to work at trying to fix this up a little better. I think I found a paint that's going to match really well. Actually brought a little chip of this paint to get it matched. But if you look, you see that crack? Like, that's what happens, you know, the body twisting. So this is another reason why I'm putting those subframe connectors in. Is to help stiffen this thing up a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to do some other videos. I need to do some interior work. I did the carpet. I put these seats in. They're okay. Okay. They fit. The seats were pretty beat. I cleaned it up really big. Just the center console needs a little work if you look at that. But that's for another video. That's the wrong shifter plate. This is an 89. It should not be yellow. That's yellow. It should be all white. I did the steering wheel because I had that one that's hanging up. Oh, there. That old Grant that's hanging up. It's like pink. But yeah, that's for another video though. Let's focus on what we're doing. So let's start. First thing I got to do is drop the exhaust. All right, so we're going to crawl under this car. And yeah, I didn't realize I had a beer can under there. Yeah, we sat in this garage over the weekend, just like many of you, and had a couple sody pops. So I must have dropped the can and I didn't even realize it. But we're gonna unbolt the Y pipe. So the exhaust needs to drop in order to gain access to put the subframe connector up there. So I have recently redid all this exhaust all the way back. And I hope you don't see my belly because it's hanging out. So luckily everything comes out really nice. I don't have to screw around much. I got hooker shorties, Doug's wide pipe. It's a little rowdy. But I like it that way. Go like butter. And then last one is going to be this one, which is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm leaking tranny fluid. Yeah, I'm gonna need a different socket. Oh, there you go. Maybe, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna need a different socket. Alright. Bear with me here. So just like many of you guys, we work on cars laying on the ground. We used to do this when we were kids. Gets harder when you get older. So now what I gotta do is take out the bolts. And these are for the control arms. So the arms that go from the rear axle down yonder. We got to pull them. The back mount of the subframe connector goes through that bolt. So we're going to get that. We're going to test fit this, make sure that it fits. I'm going to pull the exhaust back up and make sure the exhaust clears because I'm questioning it. It's kind of weird. Also, I have, when I did fixed up the floors a little bit, I tried to fix the pinch welds as best as possible. Every dummy that's owned one of these cars that wasn't very kind to it has tried to jack them up by the pinch weld. That is wrong. Don't do that. You'll see this one actually has the ground effect on this side is damaged. Doesn't bother me much. The rest of the car is pretty clean. We've put a lot of time into cleaning these floors up and stuff, so We're gonna have to do some undercoating, touch it up, but yeah, it's light years better than what it used to be. But yeah, let's get that test fit. I'm gonna get this bolt out, and then the next time you're gonna see me, I'm gonna have the subframe connector in there. Where's that dang bolt? There it is. I'm gonna get the subframe connector in there and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so we got it bolted in. We got the bolt out. We got the bolt back in. And we got it over the top. And it's gonna stay right up in here. It does look like I gotta massage this. Where is it at? Right here. I gotta massage this a little bit. But you see it goes all around the frame rail and comes up, and it's gonna bolt to the floor up here. So I'm gonna grab a jack, and I'm gonna jack this thing up as high as I can get it. I don't want to tighten the back bolt yet. I want to get this set up in the place first, because remember, I'm drilling holes. So I need to be pretty precise where we're at. Again, I really hope the exhaust clears. It's going to be a treat. So let's get a jack under this thing and get it pushed up. All right, so I got it up into place. Here's my subframe connector. So it goes here. It's going to bolt there. And then it's kind of weird right here. I think like it needs to get bent more, because it's like not even touching the floor. Or like, again, somebody's tried to jack it from here, bottomed out here, or whatever. I might have to get a little nasty with the inside of this pinch weld here and just hammer that back, massage it a little bit. Because my problem is, and this is what I was thinking was going to happen, is now my exhaust does not go up all the way. And maybe you can see from here. There, right there. See, now my exhaust won't go up all the way. There's a gap. I was scared of that. So it does look like this can go up a little more. See this gap that's here? There's a gap here too. So we're going to do some modifications. And I'm going to do it to the subframe connectors and just pray that I can get this to sit. But this is what I'm dealing with right now. And again, you guys are going to have something similar. Like, look at some tow truck driver gave this the business. Look at that. Chained her up and just dragged her. But other than that, solid car. I mean, yeah, you can see this shit, but it's not. They all have rust. This is a New Jersey car. Come on, guys. So, but the rest of it's pretty clean. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to work on this a little bit more and see what I can do to make this work, because yeah, that's not cool. All right, we'll report back once we figure something out. All right, so this is my problem area. So if you look here, this is just mashed up, and what it's doing, I started working on it a little bit already. Like this hump right here, this hump here needs to get pushed in. The inside of this rocker is pushed out. It's pushed out towards the middle of the car. So it's forcing this subframe connector to get pushed towards the middle of the car. So that's why it's not resting properly. So I got to massage this pinch weld here, straighten it out, and then get inside this inner rocker here, which is solid, by the way. This wasn't always the case. It's a little crunchy, but it's just like surface crunchy. It wasn't always the case. Actually, I think on the other side, I welded a little patch right here. You can tell there's a little patch right here. I put seam sealer on it. That's why you could see. But I welded a little patch right here that was rotted out. It was rotted out on the inside too. But yeah, we got to fix this. Get this pushed in a little bit, and that'll push the whole thing towards the outside of the vehicle so it'll fit properly. So that's where we're at now. We'll clean it up. We'll get some of this rust out of here too. It's, again, it's solid. It's just crunchy. Not crunchy, it's just surface rust. So we're going to work on this. Probably a mixture of vice grips and hammers and weapons of destruction. and we'll get it good enough where it will fit properly. So that's where we're going to go with it next. I'll work on it for a little bit. You don't need to see when you do all this. I'll just kind of describe it as we go through. But again, just massage it, get it as best as we can so we can fit this thing in here. Okay, so here we are. I cut the little notch out of that and pushed the exhaust back up. And there's still a gap. See the gap there between the header and the pipe? So, looks like what I'm going to have to do is modify this. So I made marks here of where the pipe does contact. It goes all the way down. So we're going to take this into the fab shop. And we're going to cut and probably modify this and weld it back up. And it should give us plenty of room to get this notched up. What I did notice, and there's another video with this on YouTube, where you see this flap doesn't make contact with the body. That looks just like mine. So my plan is I'll get it's bolted up. It's very tight up here. So once I get everything modified and then mocked up, we're going to bolt that in, and we're going to take probably a couple jacks, and we're going to make that flat. It will go flat up against the body. You just got to persuade it a little bit. But, you know, messing with aftermarket stuff, and you got an exhaust that's not stock, you're going to run into stuff like this. So we'll, instead of modifying the exhaust, we'll modify the, the subframe connector, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so this is what I've decided to do. I'm going to cut both sides here, here. I'm going to angle this down, and then we're going to tack it back together. Alright, so just an update. I wasn't going to bore you with my horrible welds. These are not my welds. These are TIG. I'll explain. I'm not going to bore you with my welds and my cutting. I got everything angled down now. So the whole bracket's angled down. Everything's still attached. All I did was just take this from up here and move it down here. I angled it down from here all the way down to try to clear the exhaust. Again, my cutting was fine. I MIG'd this. I haven't MIG welded in years, and it didn't come out great. Grinded it, and I just, for measure, had somebody, one of my pals there, TIG that. So he did a TIG on it, and then I painted it. It matched okay. Good enough. So I'm going to throw it up there and see if it clears the exhaust now. Alright, so there it is. It's sitting up here. Again, we're going to have to bend this in. We knew that already. It's not touching the body, but I've seen that on other videos. So we'll push that up. Now here's the exhaust and what it looks like. Oh boy. It is on there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I can get a good angle. But we are in there. And we're not touching. So I would call that a success. So we're going to go ahead and get the exhaust back up next. And then we can start, actually no, we can't do that yet. We got to drill holes first. But it looks like we're going to clear. So we have to get part of the interior out. We're going to drill these two holes first. Then we'll bend this up. We'll drill those two holes. And then we'll be good. So carpet, let's get the carpet up. Alright, so we're inside the car now. What we're going to do is we're going to pull off the sill plate, the kick panel here, and we're just going to pull the carpet up. I'm not going to take the seat out. I'm not going to do any of that. I moved the floor mat. I'm going to move the seat back all the way, which is already there. We're just going to take this off just to measure some screws, pop these screws out. And screw in the kick panel, and then we're good. Just gonna use a regular screwdriver. I'd rather not break anything. Plastics get brittle over the years, but we want to get to a drill at some point. Right up. Oh, Great. And we should have one there, but we don't. Did I work on this? I don't know. Alright, so we got the sill plate. I'm going to throw it inside of the car. And then grab a little magnetic tray for the bolts. I'm going to get the rest of this apart, pull the carpet up, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so we got the carpet pulled up. Now all I have to do is use the bracket as a jig from underneath. Drill some holes up and nut and bolt it. Yeah, this is my handiwork here. So I had to repair the floor pans on both sides when I got the car. I did this a few years back. So I POR 15 the floors and put kill mat in where that other insulation used to be. It was pretty beat. It was disgusting. And then got the mass back carpet. So everything's nice, quiet in there. So I'm going to get to... All right, what I'm doing now is I'm taking a 3/8 inch drill bit. I drilled one hole already. I'm using the bracket the actual connector as a template, so the hole's in it. I'm drilling right through the floor. The 3/8 inch. So again, I got one already. Doing another one. Alright, so we're through the floor now. I'm going to put in 2 bolts now. The bolts are going to go in through the floor. They're going to put a washer on either side. Alright, so it's a pretty tight fit in here. Again, I got my bolts. I'm going to put a washer on the bolt side and on the nut side. Push it right through the floor where the hole I made. There's one. And the other one's going to be a little tough because I drilled right through the kill mat. It's going to take a little bit of persuasion. Alright, hang on tight. I'm going to have to screw it in, get it started. I'm going to put the 14 on the old wobbly socket. See if I can get it to screw through. Mingo. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get underneath. I'm going to put the nuts on and hit it with the impact. Alright, so we're under the car. There's the 2 bolts sticking through. Subframe connector. It's got a jack underneath it. We're just going to get these 2 started and literally just ram them down. I'm doing this one-handed because I kind of have to. Here we go. Trying to let you see what I'm doing and do this one-handed. There's one. And we're going to get the second one. Washer. And that's not going to work because it just pushed through the body again. Come on, come back down. No, it's not going to. Alright, hold on one second. Let's jam this one down. See if we can just zap. Okay, of course that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to open up this door and hold it on the inside while I tighten the outside. Alright, so ultimately what I end up doing is just throwing the wrench on it. And it's dark. Throwing the wrench on, then get it underneath and just tighten it with a ratchet. Like so. Just wedge the wrench in there. And then just make sure it's tight. Okay, we're good. Alright, so what I said before, you're left with this flap, and look at that, huh? I saw this in somebody else's video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the jack, I'm gonna jack this up, drill holes in it, get the bolts in, do the same thing. I don't want to cut that off. I've heard somebody else cut that off. I'm not cutting it off. We're putting that on. And then we can get the exhaust back up. We're just moving right along. I'm going to call that a success. So we're bolted up the top. All 4 bolts are in. And best is the exhaust will connect. Oh man, can you get in there? Well, regardless, the exhaust is going to connect. So my finger was in the way, but everything's going to be good. I'm super pumped. That came out awesome, dude. So I'm going to tighten the back part up, and then we can put the exhaust up, and yeah, I'm feeling good about it. All right, so we got the exhaust back up, and I am very happy with the clearance that we have here. So the clearance for the exhaust, it is exactly what I needed to do. So life is good right now. Everything's torqued down. I got the whole subframe connector in. It's torqued to the front bolt of the rear subframe, or the rear control arm, and it is bolted to the front part of the frame here, subframe. So yeah, we're in good shape. We just got to do the passenger side now, which I already got the exhaust up. The exhaust won't be in the way. Should be pretty straightforward. All right, so I pulled out the carpet from the driver's side. I'm going to get the the subframe connector in the driver's side. I put this floor in like 3 years ago. Chipmunk. You got little acorns in here. Notice, yeah, there's some more. So it looks like a chipmunk's been getting in here, which is awesome. So we're gonna have to vacuum this out. I'm gonna clean this up too. That's shitty. We'll clean that up. Hit it with some more rust encapsulator. Everything else looks good. This is the only place I think they're getting in. There's a hole here where the speedo cable goes through. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that up. I'm gonna paint this. I'm actually gonna put more of this sound deadening material underneath on the floor pans on this side and on the passenger side. I did just up here. I'm gonna do more. We're gonna get this a little better, but we're also gonna clean this up. This rust, it's just surface rust, which is good. There's no rot or nothing. I did the inside here, the rockers, all the way up here. I did all kinds of stuff. Man, it seems so long ago, but yeah, this was all, there's a hole in the floor. We redid that. But again, we got to pull the carpet up, drill holes. So we're going to do that now. Not drill holes, but we're going to get everything ready for continuing this adventure. All right, so we're going to get the bolt out of the front. You probably see this a little better now. I'm going to work on my camera angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. Take this bolt right out. Come on now. We're getting it. All right, there we go. All right, try to get this bolt out. It takes a little bit of manipulation here, but we'll get it. Oh boy. All right. Alright, I need to go get a jack. I'm going to take a little bit of pressure off the rear end, actually lift it up a little bit. then I should be able to pull this bolt right out. So hang tight. All right, so I literally have just taken a jack. I've lifted up on this side just a hair, and the bolt comes right out. Beautiful. So I'm gonna leave it just the way it is. I need to go get the subframe connector, because again, this bolt is gonna hold that back side in. So I'm gonna go get the subframe connector, get that in. Then we can literally just swing this thing up, get a jack underneath that once we get the bolt back in, drill holes in the floor. That was wonderful. I literally just slid the bolt right in, and my subframe connector is now on the vehicle. Not completely, but it's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the washer on the back side of this bolt and the nut. And do yourself a favor here too. Before I put these UMI control arms on, these bolts were in rough shape. They were rusted to heck. So I just went ahead and replaced them when I got new bolts, front and back. Man, just do it. All right, so I'm gonna take a jack, lift this up. What's nice is that there's nothing in the way whatsoever. So I can get it right up in there and get her bolted down. So hang tight. All right, so I got a jack underneath. I got this thing pushed all the way up. And I'm not gonna lie, it lines up really well. It's up against pinch weld pretty tight. So that's where we want it. And it bolts right up to this, right to the rear of the front kind of torque box body frame-ish. I don't know what you want to call it. But now all I got to do is just grab the drill them out, and throw some bolts in it. Alright, got my handy dandy drill. We're just going to start. Whew. Oh. Okay, there's one. Now, I see people use drills all the time. Go full bore. That drill gets hot, man. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Here's second one. We don't want that. I'm actually gonna throw a bolt in first. I also want to probably lower this down a little bit. What I didn't do on the other side that I should have done is throw a little paint, because when you drill the hole, you got bare metal there. I didn't do it. So I'm gonna lower this down a little bit. I'm gonna throw it a little, shoot a little bit up in there, and then we'll throw a bolt in it. Yeah, so you can see there's bare metal there. I'm gonna grab some paint. All right, so we have all the bolts in. We're just gonna tighten them up, but there we go. Then we gotta tighten up the back. Then we're gonna be golden. We just tighten these up. All right, so we got the wrench wedged up there like we did the other side. Okay, just tighten it up. Oh. So here's the last act. Just getting this tight. Yeah, here we go. One more little torque. Click. All right, so there we have it. Project's done. We got new subframe connectors. I mean, these are sturdy. I could lift by these probably. But the driver's side is way easier than the passenger side. Again, we had to modify the passenger side, but it all fits. It's all in there. I cannot wait for spring so I can get this thing out on the road and feel the difference of this. I do have more work I'm going to do. We're going to get up off the ground now. So I have more work to do. Got a B&M mega shifter I got on eBay. We're going to install it. We're going to replace that shifter that's there. We're going to do a little bit more center console work. I got new window switches, cover for the lid for the console. Again, we're just going to clean up. I'm not going to videotape cleaning up the floors. That's not worth it. And then we're going to do a couple other odds and ends just to get ready for spring. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this thing. I'll get it out on the road for you guys. We'll ride together the first time. See how much difference this makes. I mean, just the rear end work I did last year with the control arms and the Founder's Panhard bar, new springs in the rear. I mean, this thing is so much better. So the gear steering box that I put in when I bought it, so it handles much better than when I bought it. It was like driving a boat. Everything was so loose. Also the Walter Racecraft steering shaft. Man, that made a heck of a difference. If you haven't dealt with Walter Racecraft before, awesome stuff. That's it for now. Guys, get out, wrench, do something good, man. Have fun. Man, there's nothing like it. Get out there and wrench. Have fun. Take care, guys. See ya.